Students, today's topic is sedimentary deposits. So, we will discuss about the sedimentary deposits. So, in this, what is sedimentary deposits? So, basically, the sedimentary ore deposits are formed due to processes of sedimentation, right? Processes of sedimentation. These processes may be physical, chemical, or biological, right? Physical means the rock formed by the mechanical forces. Chemical means through chemical reactions, and biological means the organic matter or decomposition happened. So, depending on which process dominates, sediments are classified into three categories. One is mechanical, that is physical, chemical, and biogenic. So another classification is based on place of formation, allochthonous and autochthonous. So what is allochthonous and autochthonous? Allochthonous means transported from elsewhere and formed at the same place is autochthonous. So you can read out in detail that if the sediment or rock transported from other place is called as allochthonous, and autochthonous, the sediment or rock formed at the same place, is called as autochthonous. So this classification help us to understand the origin of mineral resource like coal, iron ore, phosphates, etc. So if we elaborate this slide, you can see very clearly that the classification of the sedimentary ore deposits or sedimentary deposits. So clastic means mechanical, like the clast formed by the mechanical forces or the physical activity. So in clastic type or mechanical or physical type, the examples are conglomerate, breccia, sandstone, siltstone, mudstone, shale, and chemical limestone, dolostone, evaporites. So these are formed totally by the chemical processes, and biogenic like the coal and chert. So you can see this type of classification. So here I have also mentioned that the name of the rock type, like the mechanical, chemical, organic, and rock name, and method of formation, lithification of clastic sediments, and in chemical, precipitation of dissolved mineral from water, accumulation and lithification of remains of living organism is organic or biological sedimentary rocks. So this is about the sedimentary ore deposits. You can see the structure of the limestone and the other rock. So this is about the concept of sedimentary ore deposits, allochthonous, autochthonous, etc. So you can see in this also, in this slide, the allochthonous deposits are transported material like sand and gravel, heavy metallic mineral concentrate due to transported by water. These are called placer deposits, right? Autochthonous deposits form at the site of deposition by chemical precipitation or biological activity. Example include limestone, dolomite, gypsum, rock salt, phosphate. So coal and oil shale are formed mainly by organic processes. Thus sedimentary deposits always show more biogenic influence, right? So this is about the allochthonous, autochthonous, and organic formations. So in this slide, you can see the rock of coal and other type of rocks in this slide, right? In the next slide, you can see that the black shale in metallogenesis. So the black shales are fine grained laminated rock rich in organic matter more than 1%, and they formed in low energy, oxygen deficient environment like deep marine basins. So metal like nickel, cobalt, copper, zinc, you always keep in your mind, note down metals like nickel, cobalt, copper, zinc get trapped by organic matter. Other metals like uranium, molybdenum, vanadium, chromium are enriched due to reduction conditions. So, some black sails are economically important. Example, European common shale. They are also used for energy production due to high organic content. So, in this, you can see the sails of the presence of the carbon, because these are the black sails in metallogenesis. So you can see the color of the rock and the sediment or deposits and the layer like structure, right? So we move forward to the placer deposits. So the placer deposits are formed by mechanical concentration of heavy minerals during weathering and transport. Heavy minerals settle because of high density and durability. So important placer minerals: gold, platinum, cassiterite, rutile, zircon, monazite, diamonds, they occur in river beds, coastal zones. So in this, you can see in this picture that they are collecting the different types of rocks and deposits from the river, because they occur in river beds, coastal zones and slopes, right? So through which you can understand. And also this is requested from the student side that you have to note down the placer deposits and their chemical name you have to find out through Google. So this is your exercise, that you have to find out the chemical composition of cassiterite, rutile, zircon, monazite, diamonds. I will ask in the next class, right? So this is about the placer deposit. The types of placer deposits are classified as residual, alluvial, colluvial, fluviatile, present in river, coastal. So the condition for placer formation is mechanical strength, chemical resistance and high density. So these deposits are major source of gold and titanium minerals, right? So placer deposits of economic importance are classified in different categories, and these are the important source of gold, platinum, metal, tin, titanium, zircon, rare earth elements, monazite and gemstone like diamond, garnet, ruby. So in this, you can see that just because they are present in the stream or river beds, so this is the structure of river bed, and you can see that alluvial placer, residual placer and fluviatile placer in this river bed side. So these are the placer deposits. And now in this also you can see the structure of the placer deposits. They are present accordingly at the river valley, and you can note down and you can keep in your mind with the understanding of this diagram that you can see the lateritic crust, alluvial sediments, gold की साइट आपको दिख रही है, free gold and colluvial sediments, alluvial sediments. So you can see in this diagram. And here you can see that. So in this slide, this is the density of common placer and gangue minerals. We discussed earlier in your class about the gangue minerals, that the waste material are called as gangue minerals. So I am not going to discuss this table much, because the data is given in the table in gram per centimeter cube, and the density of common placers you can see you can note down or keep in your mind from this table. And now what is colluvial placers. So colluvial placers are formed due to downslope movement of the soil. You can see in this the colluvial sediments. So when the downslope are the place where the colluvial placers are present, heavy minerals move downward. So keep in your mind, when the minerals are heavy, say so they downslope movement occurs of the soil. So heavy minerals move downward while lighter ones move upward. So they occur at the base of the slope and can be reworked by the rivers. So ore bodies are sheet like or channel like presence, right? And the next one is fluviatile placers. So these fluviatile placers, these occur in river channels or terraces. So heavy minerals concentrate where flow velocity decreases, such as inside river beds, behind boulders, point bars. So concept of hydraulic equivalence explains that small heavy grains settle with large light grains. So gold is the most important mineral mined from these placers, right? So gold is the one of the major example of this. So you can see in this river channel or river bed. So here you can very clearly see that the point bar, floodplain wetland, and the other things. So you can see in this. So this is about the fluviatile placers. In the next slide, we are going to discuss about the coastal placers. So what about the coastal placers? Coastal placers form in wave or surf zones, right? Coastal जो इसकी टर्मिनोलॉजी से समझ में आ रहा है कि कोस्टल प्लेसर वेव और सर्फ जोन्स, जहाँ पर आपकी वेव्स बनती हैं वहाँ पर जाके वो डिपॉजिट्स हो जाते हैं. सो कोस्टल प्लेसर आर मेनली फॉर्म्ड इन सर्फ जोन्स इन कॉन्ट्रास्ट टू टिपिकल alluvial placers, both light and heavy minerals. So here separation occur due to entrainment equivalence, not hydraulic equivalence. So heavy minerals like rutile, ilmenite and zircon get concentrated along beaches. So some deposits may contain up to 80% heavy minerals and are very important economically, right? So these minerals are very important as per economic point of view. So many promising coastal placer deposits of coarse grained 90 to 300 mm quartz and the heavy minerals rutile, zircon, ilmenite and altered ilmenite have been outlined. So coastal placer can consist of up to 80% by weight heavy minerals, and their contribution of rutile and zircon to world market is high economic importance. So they are lesser source of diamond and calciterite. Gold and platinum are rare in coastal placers, right? Now in the next slide you can see the banded iron formation. So autochthonous iron and manganese ores are chemical, partly biogenic marine sediments. They are marine banded iron and manganese formations and colloidal or massive iron and manganese ore beds. So what is banded iron formations? So banded iron formations are called as BIFs, are laminated rocks with alternating iron rich and silica rich layers. They extend for thousands of kilometers and are major iron ore source. They contain quartz and magnetite layers. So these banded iron formations are subdivided into Algoma type, superior type and repetant type. So these are of three types. So if we discuss the different types of Algoma type, so Algoma type of banded iron formations form in volcanic environment. They are thin and associated with volcanic rocks. Iron occur mainly as magnetite, right? in this type, Algoma type of BIFs. So they are formed by hydrothermal exhalations and are volcanogenic in origin, right? The superior type of banded iron formation. So here you can also see the structure of the superior type BIFs are, so they occur in stable continental self environment. They are chemically precipitated marine environments, sediments. Iron occur as oxide, carbonate and silicate. So you can classify in the Algoma type BIF, iron occur in magnetite, right? But in this superior type of BIFs, the iron occur as oxide, carbonate and silicate phases. So they show high silica content and low impurities. So these banded iron formation formed in large marine basins, right? And the third one is, and in the early earth, ocean had dissolved iron and silica but little oxygen. When photosynthetic organism evolved, oxygen reacted with dissolved iron to form magnetite, hematite. So these settled as iron bands, silica precipitated separately as chert layers, right? So chert is the precipitation part. So the precipitates are called as chert, and the upper part is contains iron as magnetite and hematite. So this is about the superior type banded iron formations, and we discussed about this superior type banded iron formations. And in this, bacteria played a very important role in banded iron formations. So photoferrotropic bacteria oxidized iron Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus. So some bacteria reduced Fe3 plus back to Fe2 plus. So thus a dynamic iron redox cycle existed in ancient oceans, right? So this great oxidation event, so the massive BIF deposition correspond to the great oxidation event around 2.4 billion years ago. So source of iron were submarine hydrothermal vents, weathering of continents. Silica came from continental weathering, and we can understand from this table. So this is about the more explanation of, you can note down from this slide about the supergene enrichment process and hypogene hydrothermal processes. Martite is the term denote that hematite, pseudomorphs replacing magnetite. Pseudo means jhoot. So behavior of hematite, Al2O3 and titanium oxide. So this is, you can see we already discussed that Fe2 to Fe3 plus and Fe3 plus to reduce Fe2 plus. So this is iron rich layer, you can see in this. So this is the whole process. You can note down. The details is given in this slide. So BSc student, this lecture is actually prepared for PG students. So not much required in your class. So you have to consider the slide till banded iron formation only. These slides are not required in your class. So you can skip these slides because this lecture is for PG students also. And now only general sedimentary deposits are required in your class. So I am not going to discuss much in your class. But the earlier 15 slides are very important You can go through the earlier 15 slides, right? So if we conclude this lecture, sedimentary ore deposits represent a combination of physical processes, placers, chemical precipitations, iron ores, evaporites, and the biological activities like coal, phosphates. So understanding these deposits is crucial and for mineral exploration and resource management. So this is a detailed lecture on sedimentary deposit. You note down in your notebook for examination point of view, and you have to go through upper 15 slides only. The content is required for BSc students, right? So in next class we will ask questions on sedimentary deposits. So prepare accordingly, and thank you so much. Thank you.